welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Happy Saturday. It is the weekly energy card reading, and that is where you, the viewer, get to choose from one of 3 tarot or oracle decks. And what we'll do is, after you choose your deck, we'll go through and do a quick spread to see what the energies will be like for the next 7 days. It does not need to be the week of, what week is it? I'm sorry. Today has been a really long day, and I'm just going to caution you right ahead of time. I'm in a really goofy mood because it's been a long week, so I'm a little loopy. But okay, I'm filming it from the 20th to the 27th of February. So 20th to the 27th of February, and I am in awe. I can't believe it's already the end of February. Goodness, guys, we're almost in March. The year is almost 1/3 over. I can't get over that. 1/4 over. But it does not need to be the last week of February in order for the messages to resonate. If you come across this reading at any time, or if you're drawn to it, there may be messages contained. I like to look at card reading like dream interpretation, which is like, we're just looking at the symbols and see what resonates. So really, if you scroll through the video, if you choose more than one deck, however you are drawn to this video, sometimes there are little nuggets of information contained, and we say, there's a saying in card reading, take what resonates, leave the rest. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't have to be the message for you. A lot of these messages are general messages where they're projected to a large audience, and sometimes just one part of it or all of the video or possibly more than one pile might have meaning for you. So definitely just whatever resonates with you is what matters, and then everything else, just leave it by the wayside. It's all good. And these videos are for entertainment purposes only. That's how they're intended. So it's all in good fun, and that's the way we roll around here. Now, real quick, I'm going to do a few quick announcements, and then we'll get into the reading. We do have 3 tarot decks and an oracle deck, but before we get started, I just wanted to throw out a few quick announcements. And again, I'm sorry, I'm a little congested. It's been snowing and raining here, and it's been like a mix of ice, which always affects my allergies. And so if I sound a little funny, I apologize. It's also been a very long work week. And to be honest, I've said here before on my channel, I have a very lunar chart. I have a Libra sun, but then I have a lot of Cancerian planets. And today I was moody as hell. So I'm like, oh my God, should I even film this video today? I'm going to go ahead and do it because it's on my schedule, and I have a Virgo Venus, and you know what? I got to stay on schedule. So if I'm a little bit goofy, please bear with me. But honestly, I think I give good readings when I'm in this kind of energy. It's unabashedly myself, so that's how we're going to roll it. And there was just a few things that actually happened this week that really made my day, both on my Instagram and on my personal Facebook. If you know me personally, if you know my personal name, hello, my OGs who've known me since probably like 3rd grade. But there's something that I call a smile of the day, and what it is it's something like, especially now, if you're watching this at the time the video posts, things have been very routine. If you're in North America, it's wintertime, the days are short, you're stuck inside. If you're working, things kind of start to feel like the dirge. And when I see something that really makes me smile, and it really is my smile of the day, it's something that just brightens my world, I like to post it on my Facebook and post it on my Instagram to share that joy with other people. And I've mentioned before that it's not shown here, but there's a deck called the Slow Tarot by Lacey Bryant. And Lacey Bryant is an artist in San Francisco, California. And she actually created a deck. It's one of the decks that I use here on my channel. We're not using the deck today. But she's been doing a special project for Chinese New Year. And what it is they've created sculptures of oxen or ox, because it is the year of the ox for Chinese New Year. And I actually have, I was so impressed by this because in the States that neighbor where I live, They've done similar things, like in the state where I live, they did what they call crab town, which is they did these ceramic crabs around town. And then at a beach in Delaware, Rehoboth Beach in Delaware, they did dolphins. And what San Francisco did is they did something similar in honor of Chinese New Year. They created sculptures of oxen, and it was a collaboration amongst many artists to go ahead and paint the ox and put them in different areas around San Francisco. And this so made my day. It was just really bright and cheerful. And on top of that, I follow Lacey Bryant on Facebook and Instagram, and I highly encourage, if you want to, please follow her. She's a tremendously talented artist. She created one of the decks that I use here on my channel. So she's a Kickstarter artist. She's an artist. There's something she actually posts the artwork for her deck, the Slow Tarot. She created the artwork as paintings, and the paintings for that deck are actually still available at the it's oh my gosh, I always forget the first word of it, but I'll put the link in the description box. But what they did is they went ahead and painted different ox for Chinese New Year, and they put them around San Francisco. And I had a total fangirl moment, because she actually replied to me, because she is my friend on Facebook, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. But that's just her. She's very sweet, very friendly. And again, if you follow her on Instagram or Facebook, but what I thought was amazing was she actually created the sculptures for some of these ox. And that's such a talented thing. It's amazing. It's funny, in my life, I'm good at Mod Podge and paper mache, and anything that is paper craft, I'm good at. But she actually created the sculpture of the ox. And I always just think, when you look, if you follow her channel and you look at these different ox, they call it Oxen on Parade. It's so cool. Just the way that the head is, and the way that it's faced, I just think that's amazing. Like making a mannequin, that takes such skill to make it look lifelike and to have the dimension. I'm not that talented. I wish I could. I'm good at paper mache. It's funny, when I was in high school, my mom kept this paper mache flamingo that I made with it had like wooden towel legs that kept falling off. And my mom kept it forever. That's like the extent of my artistic ability. But and I scrapbook, but to see someone actually make a full, sculpture with like dimension and the way the head is angled. Also, Lacey was so sweet. When she replied to me, she let me know that she acted as a mentor for how the oxen were to be painted. Like for two of the ox, she just kind of gave like from what I understand, I wish I understood the artist mind better. She helped give them the blueprint of how the ox was to be painted. And one of the artists was actually right out of high school. And I'm just so in awe of that. I mean, wow, what a wonderful creativity. And of course, it's San Francisco. I just feel like, God, California, I wish I were there right now, because right now it's like raining ice outside. And I'm like, oh, please, I wish I were in sunny SF. But I thought it was so cool that she's sharing pictures with us. And the coolest part about this project is that if you are in California, if you are in the San Francisco area, if you take a picture, like if you take a selfie, and completely social distance friendly, if you take a selfie with one of these ox, go ahead and post it anywhere, TikToks, Instagram, Insta, Facebook, however you roll. Go ahead and put the hashtag, I think it's Oxen on Parade, and I'll go ahead and share that. They're giving away a t-shirt, a face mask, and a little plush ox, and I'm dying to see what this little plush ox looks like. It sounds freaking adorable. But they're doing a contest for it. So, I mean, how awesome is that? So that was my smile of the day the other day, and that totally made my day because I love the snow, but where I'm, we're stuck inside with social distancing, and if I'm working all day, it feels like the dirt. To see something bright and beautiful that's a contest, and goodness knows you can win a face mask with a little oxen on it. That is totally adorable. And if you get a chance, please support Lacey Bryant. She's a very talented artist, so talented. She does sculpture, she does painting, and I don't know where she finds time to paint all this. She's so freaking prolific. I'm just love your show, babe. But check out her Instagram, check out her Facebook. All of the details are there. And if you're in the California area, take a picture, take a selfie with an ox, win a free face mask. Hey, we all need a little bit of light in our lives. Let's do it. Now, one other thing is that today, when I usually clarify the reads with oracle cards, I just wanted to let you know that I do have a charms dish that I'm adding to. And I wanted to show you a few charms that I'm contributing to the charms dish, and I'm excited. This week I am going to do oracle just because I'm tired. I'm sorry, not to be lazy, but I don't make any profit from this channel. This is purely me, and this is just soulsymbols.com. This is me getting my feels out. But it really is an outlet for me, and I make no profit from it. I just like to be of service. But I wanted to share with you a few of the extra charms that I'm adding to the charms bowl, and I promise the next time I will clarify using the charms dish. But I got some of these. I got a set of wooden blocks that have different letters. And a lot of readers have Scrabble tiles, but it's like one tile per letter. And I thought this was cool. I have about 12 of these that have different letters on different edges. Oh, and look. Oh, there you go. You got E. Okay. My good friend E, you know who you are. He's actually a Taurus, and it's the year of the ox, so he's a Taurus. One other thing, to put the astrological hat on for a moment, it is the year of the ox in Chinese New Year, and we have what we call a stellium in the sky of Aquarius, and but the planet that rules Aquarius is Uranus, and Uranus is in the sign of Taurus. And Taurus, it is in astrology. It is what we call it's what we call being in fall, meaning that Taurus being in Aquarius is not the strongest placement, but it gives it stability. Right? Taurus is slow moving, it's slow and steady, it anchors things, it puts cornerstones to things, and it's very good about knowing quality, like it knows what is quality. So I'm excited about that because even though Uranus is in fall, you got a whole stellium, you got Saturn, we got Venus, we've got all these planets. Actually, Mars is in Taurus right now too. But we've got all these planets in Aquarius, and its ruling planet is in Taurus. So I feel like big change is coming. It is the era of the age of Aquarius, but it's going to be a very stable. What I'm kind of feeling is like it's going to put in place the building blocks for the future. And it's going to be very futuristic, so I'm excited about that. But circling back, my friend E, he knows who he is. And it's funny. He sent me a text today. I had such a long day at work, and he said, go ahead and film your video. You're going to feel better after you film. We call it Wicker, MECR, Weekly Energy Card Reading. He's like, go ahead and film Wicker. You're going to feel better. And he was so right. So shout out to E. You are right. I do feel better. I already feel better. But I do have these letters in my charms bowl. I also have a few additional coffee pieces. Like I have an iced coffee, and I can't wait. Well, probably have to wait until spring or summer to actually see this and have it appreciated. This is silly, but I was looking for this. This was at my local craft store, and it's only like $4, but it had been sold out everywhere, and I finally found it. And it was the last one, so I scooped it up for the charms bowl. And this is badass. I'm allowed to cuss on my channel. Honestly, I don't have any restrictions. It's an over 18 video, but These are shoelace ties, like you can lace your shoelaces through them, but they're gamer related, and I thought that was so cool. So I went ahead and bought them for my charms dish, and I thought it was great because you have the star, and you know how like I think of Super Mario Brothers 3, like Tanuki Mario, like, when you grab the star and you're like do 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 do, and you're moving in a star streak, and you got like sparkles coming from your butt. I thought that was great. I think that's going to be fantastic. Then you've got game over, and oh my gosh, in a relationship read, or I hope I don't see that with the Ten of Swords. And then you even have a controller one. And I thought that was so great. So I just wanted to share that real quick. So I have added those to my charms dish. And then when in future readings, we are going to pull out the charms dish again. So I have the charms bowl. We are going to use it. Again, I've just been a little lethargic. I'm playing catch up in just about every area of my life right now. All right, guys, so enough blabbing. Let's get to it. I know this is coming a little bit late, but if you ever click the timestamp in the description box, that's your fast pass. You don't have to listen to the whole intro. That was a long intro, but we have 3 decks. As per the norm, I'm using decks we haven't used in a while. We have the Zillich Tarot, and with it we have a beautiful green fluorite. The middle deck, I was really nostalgic to use this. The Anna K Tarot with the smoky quartz. We haven't seen this in a while. And then we have the Witch's Tarot by Dugan. And we have a beautiful agate cat. And this is the coolest cat ever. We are clarifying using a deck that I swear I had a dream about this deck. That's how crazy it was. But this is the Journey Travelers Tarot. It's by Denise, Linn. I'm sorry, the description, all the names are in the description box. Again, it's been a long week, guys. If I'm a little out of it, I apologize. And on top of it, we have a beautiful citrine, which is about abundance and growth and financial prosperity. All right, so enough blabbing. Please choose from your intuition. If you need more time, please pause the video, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. I'm going to go ahead and move up our other decks. Yeah, I do apologize. I'll tell you, I had a real emotional day today. I'm almost questioning myself. I'm like feeling a little out of sorts, but it's interesting. I'm a very balanced personality. I really am. I know it doesn't seem like it sometimes, but I trust my intuition and I trust my good judgment. If I feel like something is off kilter, I'll say something. And I had one of those days where I'm questioning my own judgment, but you know what? We're going to roll with it. And deck number 1, we have the Zillich Tarot with the green fluorite. Let's go ahead and see what's your energy for the week. Ooh, oh my gosh. Okay. Wow, these are just popping out, guys. I think that's a very clear, whoa, very clear energy. Very clear. And the moon. Okay. I'm so glad, guys. I'm not alone. You guys, I'm feeling some Cancerian or some moon water related. Maybe you have Pisces, Scorpio, because there's a Scorpion here. Maybe you have some Scorpio moon. Staying focused. Very cool. Hold the course. Dang. All right. And Scorpio is a fixed sign. All right. Let's jump into this. Let's get it. Let's go. I'm sorry. That's a call sign of, there's another reader here on YouTube who uses that. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to steal your slogan. That's just, I think she's awesome too. Okay, beginning of the week, you got Wheel of Fortune. So I really get the sense that things are turning in your direction. With it being in the upright, anytime you see a major arcana in a read, and actually you have 3 major arcanas in this read, so I feel like life is changing for you right now. Again, it's kind of like the anchor. It's like the root of your energy. So it's not so much that you're seeing like crazy change in your everyday life, more like it's like the root of it. Like your daily expression is because good things are coming to you. And the beginning of the week, you've got Wheel of Fortune. I just feel like I do kind of get a sense of going with the flow in the beginning of the week. The other thing with the moon, I think that you have good instincts. I'm getting a strong sense, and stay focused. You know, in your gut, in your feels, and your jellies, you know what's right for you. And I feel like at the beginning of the week, it's almost like the universe is kind of like reiterating that. The other strong thing that I get is that I think positive change is coming for you, and you're really in you're in line, like you're synced up to the universe. And I know that sounds really woo woo, but I'm really getting that from your energy. Like you know things are changing, and I get the sense that you're trying to stay flexible. And the beginning of the week, I feel like you're staying flexible. It's almost like you're letting the universe take you where it wants you to go. And I do get a sense that you know that it's for your greatest good. Sometimes when you're there's a statistic that says that 98% of people dislike change even when it's positive. So what happens is, I get the sense like in the beginning of the week, you feel like things are changing, but instead of resisting it, you're going to see where it leads you. And that's actually the best energy for you, because the universe is going to give you what is best for you. And it's almost like letting go and letting, let, and you can assign any label that you want to this. If you believe in God, if you believe in a higher power, it's letting God guide you. It's letting your higher power guide you. It's letting your angels show you where to go. And I really get the sense that you're going to kind of see that at the beginning of the week. And I do think that it's going to be just kind of like almost like you're sitting in a rowboat just going down the stream. That's the kind of energy in the beginning of the week. And you're just going to go with the flow. Now, by the middle of the week, this is really interesting. You've got the Five of Swords and you got Temperance. So what I'm kind of getting here is you actually kind of see a fish here at the top. And I kind of think of Piscean energy. And what it is Piscean energy is very passive. It's kind of like sometimes Pisces get a reputation of being a little bit of a doormat. But what I'm kind of seeing here is I'm seeing defeat for the right reasons, because you got Temperance below it. Maybe if you were wrong about something, or maybe, again, um, the other thing that I kind of get is, if you've ever heard the expression rejection is God's protection, maybe you feel defeated at something, but it's almost like it, by accepting that defeat, by accepting not winning, it's balancing things, right? And I know that sounds a little bit strange, but if you've ever been in those situations where maybe someone else deserved to win, and maybe it was someone else's time to be in the spotlight, and by you accepting defeat gracefully, you're allowing them to have their time in the spotlight. You know what I mean? So what I'm kind of getting is, by the middle of the week, there's going to be some kind of situation where you might have to turn the other cheek, or you might have to accept some kind of defeat, but it is for a greater purpose, right? And that's the beautiful thing. And again, I'm seeing that fish, and I'm thinking Piscean energy. I'm getting a real sense of going with the flow. Like I get a real mutable energy. You could be a mutable sign, like Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, or Virgo. I'm getting a strong Piscean, actually, because Pisces are in tune with their emotions, and they have no problem. Like Pisceans are beautifully, um, they're beautifully not in their ego. Like my best friend has like a stellium in Pisces, and she actually kind of, there's something called a grand trine, which is like the 3 points of an element. So in air, it's like Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. In water, it's Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And what it is in my own chart, I have Cancer and Scorpio in some pretty strong places, like very dominant. And my best friend in the world, my best girlfriend, she has Pisces, and that's the one sign that I don't have in my chart. I'm sorry. It's been a really long day, guys. Sorry. That's the one sign I don't have in my chart. And Pisces completes my trine, right? I have Scorpio, I have Cancer. She comes in and literally she completes me. What I'm kind of seeing here is that the Piscean energy is very forbearing, right? It doesn't give in to ego. It almost surrenders and it backs down for it lets other people win. They don't care about winning. They care, they care about doing what's right? If it allows somebody else to win, if it allows somebody to the other thing I kind of get is if you're by conceding and maybe by if someone makes you kind of feel like the loser, maybe someone cuts in front of you or takes what you think is yours, you don't take offense. You go ahead and let that person win or have that victory. And by doing that, you're earning cosmic brownie points because believe it or not, foregoing that sense of pride is a very virtuous kind of act. But I also get the sense that you're balancing out something. The other thing with Pisces being the last sign of the zodiac is that you might be balancing out a little bit of karma. I try not to throw that word around because sometimes it gets a little misunderstood. It's a little bit of a scary concept. But basically, in the middle of the week, you're going to be conceding to someone, and it's going to be for the greater good. It's going to be for the greater good. It's going to be for all the right reasons. So you might feel that someone else kind of wins. Sometimes you can see this, like maybe you applied for a job and someone else got it and you know that person. Or it could be that you were wrong about something and you legitimately just say, look, I was feeling out of sorts. I apologize. And again, it's a little bit of a win-lose situation. I do kind of get this might be verbal. It might be through text message or email. But by you conceding and letting this other person have their say, it balances things between you, right? And the other thing is with temperance, it's an angel who's balancing those two emotions. So you really are, you're making everything right in the world. And you're doing it for the right reasons. So the other thing I get is that you're not really gonna. Normally, this card talks about winners and losers. I really don't think that you're gonna feel like a quote unquote loser. I think that you're gonna know that you're apologizing or that you're backing down for the right reason, and you're letting someone else have their. The other thing I get is that if someone else is. The other thing I get from this is that maybe someone's communicating that they were hurt by something that you did or said, and you're saying, yes, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel less than, and by doing that you're letting the other person be the quote unquote winner, right? But it helps balance out the emotions. The other thing that I get is that it helps make peace with this person, and this can be in your family, it can be at work, or any other area of your life. Now, by the end of the week, this is really awesome, guys. You got the Nine of Wands and you got the Moon. Now, this is a really unique card because normally the Nine of Wands talks about like being worn out, like to the point where you're almost ready to give up the fight. But the imagery in this deck is more of like someone at a disco, like dancing. It's funny. I've mentioned in other videos. I'm currently in the process of having my father's record player repaired, and I've been I've been very obsessed with buying new records, and I've been on eBay and I've been buying new records. If you follow my Instagram, I'll show you. I've been sharing a few posts about that. But that's what I almost kind of think of. You kind of see like a disco ball, and it looks like someone's really dancing, and it almost looks like this person is dancing to really good music. But I have to remember that the Nine of Wands really does talk about hanging in there. It really is kind of that hanging in there energy. And underneath it, we have the Moon with Scorpio. So just to think about it for a minute, right now next week, it wouldn't be Scorpio. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be Leo energy that we're in. So by the end of the week, next week, it would be more of a Leo thing. Actually, it would be Leo going into Virgo. if you have a Leo moon, you might be really feeling it kind of strongly. But what I'm kind of get from this is that I am kind of getting a theme by the end of the week. I think you're going to be dancing along with your problems. Either that, or if you are feeling kind of like in your feels a little bit, like the moon is a lot about subconscious desires. It's a lot about what's going on under the surface. The other thing that I kind of get with these two images is that maybe you might be exercising some things from your past. It might have to do with your mother or your family. The other thing that I get is that I am getting a strong kind of Leo and Scorpio balance here. If you're dealing with a Leo or if you have a Leo moon, I would say this energy is very, very strong if you have any Leo Scorpio squares in your chart. If you have any planets in Scorpio, square planets in Leo, this is definitely your reading. But what I'm kind of getting here, the other thing I'm kind of getting is that maybe I think by the end of the week, you're feeling a lot. The other thing is that something's going on, some changes occurring in your life, or maybe interactions that you're having with other people is really stirring up some subconscious, either desires or subconscious memories. Sometimes the moon, you might really be delving deep into sometimes the way that you interact with people really stems from patterns from either childhood or past experiences. Maybe you had past relationships with boyfriends or girlfriends, or past memories with friendships that are really getting churned up. And again, I always think of the moon as being like almost like a cork, in a cork in water. When you push down a cork, it pops back up somewhere else, right? So it's one of those things like, and I even felt this energy today. I caught myself, I was talking to someone today where I said, I don't know where this is coming from. I have no clue. Like, I found myself crying for no reason, and I don't cry. Like, I'm not a weepy person, not at all. And this interaction with someone that I had today really made me just brought out the waterworks. But here I kind of see like it's the same thing, something really deep and rooted in you. But the interesting thing is, I almost get like this is a memory from childhood or a memory from something that you're exercising. It's almost like, what I'm almost getting is by the end of the week, you're so tired, you're so worn out that you almost need to dance. You know what I'm getting from this? Have you ever heard the expression, you either laugh or you cry? I get the feeling like you either cry or you dance is what I'm getting. I'm getting the feeling like you're on the brink of tears, and instead of crying, it's almost like, okay, I refuse to cry. And let me just tell you, that's such a Scorpio Leo thing. Can I just tell you that like Jennifer Lopez, she has a total Scorpio Leo chart. I could see you doing this. I could see you being so like you're so in your feels, you're remembering like really churned up emotions. Maybe you're remembering really deep forgotten situations from your past. And it's almost like you're exercising those emotions that you almost want to dance. Dancing will get it out of your system. And I know that sounds freaking crazy, but I'm seeing this, guys. And honestly, do you have a record player? Can I just say that? I'm hearing that. I'm hearing the needle hit the record, and you're going to freaking dance your way around the living room. Maybe you have a glass of wine. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're just dancing. Maybe you're crying, but you're getting it out. You're getting it out. This is positive, guys. I really get this is positive. Can I just say I want to be you when I grow up? Because for all of the responsibilities that we have as an adult, I know this seems really crazy, but sometimes when you have like these really deep-seated emotions that stem from things in your past, or you need to let it out. You need to let it out. You're feeling run down, you're feeling tired. You know what I'm almost getting? It's like 5 o'clock on that Friday. Let me put a record on the record player. Let me dance around the living room, and I really don't give an F who's watching. That's what I'm getting here. And that's really good energy. I get a good vibe from this. You know, and the funny thing is that I feel like you're not letting yourself get out of balance. The moment you feel like you're starting to, you know, ride the waves, you're going to take care of yourself. And even if that makes you look weird, even if it makes you look weird, woo woo, maybe you throw some cards, maybe you take a bath, whatever it is that helps you get, you know, get you. Have you ever heard that expression of getting the wiggles out? You know, you've got a bunch of stuff boiling up inside of you and you got to let it out. um, you know, one of the records that I bought recently was the soundtrack from The Man from Uncle, U.N.C.L.E. And what is it? Her, Vikander. Oh gosh, her name. She's the actress who stars in that movie, the new movie that came out in 2015. If you watch that scene where she's wearing the sunglasses and she's dancing to that 60s song "Cry for Me." That's what I'm getting from this, guys. And seriously, knuckle tap, rock on with your bad self, because you know, don't think that you're weird. You know, whatever it is that exercises your emotions, you do that. You do that, and I almost feel like you're dancing. You're stressed out. You've got a lot boiling under the surface. Go ahead and dance it out. Dance it out. No one's gonna judge you, right? Do it in the privacy of the four walls of your bedroom, wherever you do. Now, you got the Oracle card staying focused. Hold the course. Wow, guys. So, and you see this is a wizard. So I do see a lot of wisdom with your deck. The other thing that I really get is that I think you understand that there are some cosmic changes going on and you're trying to stay flexible. And I know that is exceedingly hard to do, you know, when you're trying to roll with the punches. And good for you, because that's really tough. But it's definitely saying hold the course. I'm sorry, it's been a long time, long dang. All right, I'm trying to get through this read, guys. I'm sorry, it has been a long day. But staying focused and hold the course. So I think that you're gonna stay flexible, and you're. The other thing I get from this pile one, you guys are awesome because I think you're very spiritually aligned, and I think you'll take the right action for the right reasons. And oh my gosh, that is awesome. And I do think that you're going to have a good weekend. The other thing I get is that you're not going to get too serious. The moment you start getting your feels, you're going to balance that shit. Pardon my French, but you're going to balance it. And if you have to dance, if you have to go out in the lawn, you know, wearing your headdress and, you know, dance in the moonlight, you're going to do whatever it is that you got to do to feel good again. And, you know, you do you. You do you. Don't think that anyone's going to judge you for that because, you know, you're getting your energy out in a healthy way. But wow, guys, that's an awesome week. That's such an awesome week. All right, guys, so deck number 2, we have the Smoky Quartz, we have the Anna K Tarot. I've really been missing this deck. I actually pulled it out the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, we've got to use this in the weekly energy card reading. Because we haven't, I'm just going to give it a quick shuffle. And this shuffle, I'm sorry. Again, Mercury retrograde. It's driving me nuts. This deck shuffles like butter. Like butter. Ooh, look at this. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take it. 8 of Rods. Okay. Middle of the deck, please. All right. End of the deck. Oh, wow, guys. Deck number 1 had this same card in the same position last week. Okay. End of the week, please. Maybe it's some carryover energy, but this is deck number 2. 10 of Pentacles is trying to come out, as is the 7 of Swords. Mr. Sneaky. Oh, Temperance is a common denominator. Okay, please clarify Temperance if there is a clarifier for Temperance, because it's a major arcana and it's fairly badass on its own. Oh, Crapioca. Okay, we got a flipper. Ooh, oh my girl. Okay, we'll go ahead and take the top card. Oh gosh, guys. Okay, I'm getting a very clear story from this. I love Anna Kay. It's very, The images are kind of like Mary Engelbright. They're very simplistic, but they tell such a clear story. And I'm getting a very clear story. Oh, gosh. Okay. Oh, how beautiful is this, guys? All right, this is really beautiful energy. All right. Now, beginning of the week, you got the Eight of Rods, and what I love about this is you see someone getting a message. And the root of it is you've got the Tower, and blocking the Tower, you've got the Eight of Swords. So I kind of read this one of two ways. If this is your energy, you might be getting some kind of news from something. You might be getting some kind of news, and honestly, I am kind of getting a little bit of a relationship vibe from this. Maybe you hear news about an ex or something going on where maybe you've been really in the dark, like you really haven't heard too much about this person, you don't know what's going on with this person. It can be family as well, it doesn't necessarily have to be love relationship, but you finally get news about this something, and what it is this news would give you permission to move ahead. Like, it's almost like this news is confirmation that, okay, what you suspected is happening, go ahead and go forward with your life, right? And with the Tower underneath, again, I'm getting a strong sense, like, maybe you feel like something from your past is crumbling away, like you just, I'm getting a strong sense that this is almost confirmation of something that you suspected, and it almost gives you the freedom to move forward with your life, knowing that this whatever was happening is not going to hold you back anymore. Because what you see is the Eight of Swords blocking this, right? It's, what I do in a relationship sense, I almost get like that old ex that you still think about, that makes you question whether or not you were good enough. Maybe you hear that they're in a new relationship, or maybe you get some kind of confirmation, okay, they're not coming back, or they're, you are basically free to go ahead and do what you want to do with your life. You don't have to worry about this old situation anymore. You don't have to put this old situation was built on a bad foundation. It didn't serve you. Go ahead and let it fall. Let it fall, because all it was doing is, while that tower was upright, it was just making you question yourself and holding you back. So I know that seems like really big energy, but Tower is major arcana. So what I'm almost kind of getting, the other thing, the energy I get from this is almost like you get news about something, and I really get the sense that you're familiar with what this situation is. It's almost like the final remnants of something that you've put behind you. And in the beginning of the week, I feel like you're finally putting it behind you, and you're putting it behind you in almost an energetic way. It's almost like, okay, that's what I thought was going on. you know Not to be graphic, but this is all of my videos are over 18, so I don't curse very much, but I do curse a little in my videos. But there's this phrase, and it's from the 90s, it's from when I was a teenager, but it's like two tears in a bucket, F it, fuck it. Two tears in a bucket. Okay, maybe something in your past you really tried to build up, but all it did was tear away at your self-esteem. It's almost like in the beginning of the week, you get some kind of message that says, yes, this is finally breaking down. Whatever was not working for you is finally breaking down, and it's releasing you. The other thing that I get is that maybe you're holding out and waiting for this tower to be, stable. But what I'm getting is, in the beginning of the week, it basically feels like some kind of situation, and it could be work, it could be family. Some kind of situation is finally deteriorating, and you want this tower to fall. You do. I think in the past, maybe you wanted to try to salvage it, but all it's doing is making you question yourself. right? Like you are a fine lady or a fine gentleman, but when you look in the mirror, you feel all tied up and trapped. And it's because of it's either some kind of foundation you built with someone, maybe it's a job, maybe it's something else. But in the beginning of the week, I feel like you're finally feeling free of that. And I get the sense with this message, it's almost like you're getting some kind of notification about this situation that kind of confirms everything that you had been through. And this is a very liberating experience. I get the sense I am getting a sense it's a little bit cathartic. It is going to be one of those situations where I hate to say it, if you've ever seen that movie, what is it with Angela Bassett when she puts all of Lawrence Fishburne's clothes in a car? She finds out he's cheating on her. She throws all of his crap in a car. She throws some kerosene on it, lights a match, and then she walks away like strutting. I'm kind of getting this energy, kind of like there's no way forward, but there's no path in front of me but forward, right? And I do kind of get something happens, some kind of message that you get at the beginning of the week is it's almost like giving you permission to be free. And it's going to make you feel liberated. It's going to make you feel like you're finally breaking out of any any insecurities. You're going to let the tower fall. The other thing that I get is that this is going to be kind of sudden news, but it's going to be good news. It's going to be good news. And I'll tell you guys. I know in the beginning of the video I talked about it being the age of Aquarius and Uranus being in the sign of Taurus. I almost get the feeling like whatever was built on a faulty foundation is finally falling, and you're going to get some kind of news that frees you. And I think you're ready to move forward. You're ready to move forward. You see this lady leaning down and like, yes, here, give me the news. Give me the news. Now, I'll be honest, this might be it could be news of an ex, it could be news of some kind of situation. Um, but whatever it is, it's liberating you. That's what I'm strongly getting. It's liberating you. You get some kind of message that says, "Okay, you're free." The bricks have finally hit the ground, right? Like whatever was keeping you stuck, whatever was keeping you trapped up in that tower is done. It's toast. And the other thing that I get is that you really are embracing like a fresh start, and that's such healthy energy. You're not looking to the past. You know that it didn't work out for a reason, and you're just looking forward. Now, the middle of the week, this is interesting. Like I said before, last week the first deck had the same card in the same position. It's the King of Pentacles in the middle position. So I do get a sense like by the middle of the week, I just feel like, the other thing that I get is that the King of Pentacles, he's the head man, like he's the head of the household. I kind of get the sense like you're going to feel like the head of your own household. Like you're ready to, what I get is I get the strong sense that you're ready to build again, because the other thing about the pentacles is like one pentacle is kind of like the cornerstone of your foundation. You're kind of like, okay, the past didn't work out. I'm ready to go again. And you're going at it in King of Pentacles freaking energy. That's badass. That's like saying, okay, I've got the money. I've got wherever I go, wherever I build my castle again, it's going to be strong as hell this time. The other thing that I get is that this could be a boss. These are separate energies. Again, these are kind of like these are highlights of your week. You could be talking to a boss in the middle of the week. It could be a very practical man. Sometimes the King of Pentacles can be like a financial advisor. Now, one other thing is we are in tax season, so maybe you're talking to your tax accountant. That's entirely possible. Um, One other thing I kind of get is that maybe, honestly, from this energy, maybe you're selling a house and you're like, hey, how can I write this off my taxes? That's entirely possible. Either that or you might be having communications with someone who's kind of like the King of Pentacles. You might be turning to either a father or a grandfather or someone who's very practical with money and just asking kind of for advice. If this isn't a patriarch, it could be a boss. I see this card pop up a lot when I talk to my boss, but just because he's such a stabling force, he really does feel like he feels like a father figure, and I enjoy talking to him. I feel more grounded after talking to him. So it can definitely be like a conversation with a mentor or your father. It could be your father helping you out. I always see the King of Pentacles as being that he's that real practical man. Like if I always say that if you had a flat tire on the side of the road, this would be the person who comes and helps you change your flat tire, or just someone who's really steady and there for you and gives you good advice. But if it is your father or grandfather, it could be someone helping you out with money or helping guiding you to the right way to spend your money. But to be honest, I almost think that, because it's kind of tax time, maybe you're talking to your accountant. You're gathering your 1099 for the week. You're filling out all those tax forms. That's entirely possible. Um, by the end of the week, this is really beautiful energy. And honestly, guys, this is some double Libra energy. Now, Temperance, I think, is a Sagittarian card, but I'm always curious about that because it does kind of seem like balance, which I think is more of a Libra concept. And then you got the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords in this deck is freaking beautiful. Um, but what I'm kind of getting from this is that if this is some kind of family or relationship dynamic, you're keeping things really fair. What I kind of get from this is you want things to be balanced. You don't want anybody to be a winner or a loser. The other thing that I get is that the Queen of Swords is very much about boundaries. So if you are a man watching this, you can be in this energy. It doesn't mean that you're being feminine or anything. It just means that on an emotional level, you want to keep things fair, right? The other thing that I get is that the Queen of Swords is she's not really warm and fuzzy, but she is very balanced. Like she's not going to make an unfair decision. She'll hear your side of the story, but she'll go with the facts, right? She's not going to make like an emotions based decision. So that's what I'm almost getting by the end of the week. I get the feeling by the end of the week you want the other saying with Temperance is recalibration, and Temperance is a major arcana, so that's a major energy. So what I get is by the end of the week, I think that you're really sticking to your boundaries. It's kind of just the facts, ma'am. But what I'm getting is that you're going to be fair to everyone involved. Maybe if some kind of foundation is crumbling, you're going to try to make it as seamless as a transition as possible. Maybe if you're moving away from home or if you're making major changes in your life, you don't want it to be disruptive. You want to try to keep it balanced, but you are going to keep your boundaries. So like if you have some kind of investment in something, you are going to get your investment out of it and you're going to be clear about that, but you're not going to like cheat anybody else out of their fair share either. It's almost like you want to keep things very balanced and you want everybody to feel like they got a fair deal. And that's your energy at the end of the week. This is really, I'm getting a very strong Libra. And of course, I'm sun sign Libra, so I love this energy because I just feel like you're keeping it on the level. The other thing I get is that you're not letting your emotions get out of whack because I do think these are major changes. And goodness knows, guys, you're taking this like a champ because normally when a tower shows up in a reading, it's like chaos and like, oh my God, what am I going to do? You're not even like that. You're like, okay, how do we be fair about this? You're impacted. I'm impacted. This is what I need. I'm going to stick to what I need, but I'm going to make sure you don't get screwed. wow. Just serious wow. The other thing I get is that if this does involve money, you're going to be coming to the table with you see this is a king and a queen, right? And both of these suits have rationality in common. Now, Pentacles is usually more compatible with water, but air and Pentacles is definitely about practical knowledge. Swords is more kind of erudite, where it's like you're in your mind, you know how to weigh the pros and cons in your mind, while Pentacles is more like the fiscal and kind of physical real world value of things. But I think you're going to stick to your guns emotionally. You're going to know what is fair to both parties, and you're going to try to keep things balanced. You're not going to let anything get out of balance. And I think that's going to really, it's not only going to serve you, but it's going to serve other people. The other thing with all this snow is that quite possibly you might be in North America. We've had quite a snowstorm. So what I kind of get from this is that, from the outside, you might come across as a little frosty, but you're doing the right thing. That's the other thing. Temperance and the Queen of Swords, you're doing so the right thing. So the other thing I get from this is stick to your boundaries, because the fairness that you're exuding is absolutely the right thing to do. And even if somebody doesn't appreciate it now, they will appreciate it later, because if you stick to your boundaries and say, no, this is my half, this is your half, you're keeping it balanced. And I do get the sense that someone might be trying to kind of lean on you to say, no, don't you want to give me this much more? No, I don't. This is my share, this is your share. And you're sticking to that in your heart, right? This is emotional balance. So I do think that you're enacting your boundaries, and that's such a good thing. If this is relationship related, you're not letting anybody get too close until they can show that they're being honest, right? And you're keeping that fair to yourself and fair to the other person. Now, this is beautiful, guys. It says protected by angels. And let me tell you, this is like one of my favorite cards in this deck. You are cherished by the angels. I think that this energy, and you see the angels holding a sword too, it's almost like, and I am getting a sense like this energy is channeling through you. You see how both of these people are standing with like shoulders upright? Look at that posture, guys. That's the other thing, is maybe you just got some hella posture, I envy you, because I feel like I've been sleeping in a ball and my shoulders just ache when I wake up. But what I get from this is that you are going through a lot of change, and can I just tell you, this week you are taking it like a champ. Like you're not letting it shake you, cool as a cucumber, I do. I want to be you when I grow up. But the angels are there for you. The other thing I kind of get is that they're so freaking proud of you. Look at this. It's almost like your angels are behind you in case you need them, but you almost don't even need them. You're doing just fine on your own. And your angels are like, hey, honey, you need me, call. I'm right here, with the big, beautiful, wings. But you got this, honey. You got this. And definitely trust your judgment. I know the Queen of Swords sometimes gets a bum rap of being a little bit of a cold person, especially with all that snow around her. But I don't see you decapitating anyone. Not this week, anyway. You're doing just fine. And I do think you're standing up for your rights. And when you do that, you're also taking into consideration the other person. And that's such beautiful energy. I think you're going to go into your weekend with a really balanced and grounded energy. And I just get the sense like your angels are there, your guides are there. If you need any help, just call. What's that song? If you ever need me, just call me, If you ever need me, just call. I'll look up that song and try to post it, but that's your energy. So you're doing great. This is a beautiful week. And honestly, for getting the tower in the mix, you're rocking it, guys. That is so awesome. Good for you. Goodness knows. I have weeks where I'm just like, what? Say what? All right, so last but not least, we have the beautiful Agate Cat, and we have the Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. And I do love this deck. I haven't seen it in a while. Again, every week I try to, I go through my decks and say, okay, how long has it been since we have used this deck? All right, so last deck. What's your energy for the week? Okay. Wow, we're getting a lot of Nine of Wands energy. We're just tired and we're not going to take it anymore. Okay, end of the week. Okay, please clarify death. Wow, you got some majors going here. You got some major. Everybody's got some crazy. You've got some crazy changes going on. Chariot. Okay, with the Chariot, it does kind of speak of car troubles. Either that or are you driving somewhere? You're driving to someone, or you want to drive to someone. Ooh, whoa, that flew. Okay, ooh, excuse me. Oh, and goodness. All right. Okay, crossing bridges. All right, that was answering my Chariot question. Okay, this is proof. The moment that you start asking the cards questions and you're shuffling at the same time, that's when like a card will flip out, hit you between the eyes, and it's like, there you go. You asked. You asked. All right, guys, this is amazing though. This is good energy. This is good energy. Don't be afraid. There are no bad cards in tarot, and actually the way this is spread out is you've got some powerful ones though. You got karma, which is judgment, you've got emperor, and you got death. So to be honest, you could potentially just put the astrologer hat on and to put the astrologer hat on, you might have some Aries Scorpio combination, and good God, I'm Libra Scorpio in my chart, and I couldn't imagine Aries Scorpio because God, remind me not to piss you off. Sorry. Anyway, beginning of the week, you've got the Nine of Wands, and this is really quite beautiful. I take the artwork into consideration, and this normally the Nine of Wands is really that exhausted card, and this is the second card. Like the first deck had the same thing where the Nine of Wands didn't look like the traditional Nine of Wands. When you look at Rider-Waite-Smith, it looks like someone who has been beaten over the head with a stick and has bandages everywhere. This woman looks a little bit kind of badass, like she's holding her ground, right? Like she's taking those last reserves of strength and really using them in a dynamic way. So beginning of the week, that's what I kind of feel. Maybe you've kind of had like a maybe you had a rough weekend, because the other thing is that this energy kind of starts Saturday-ish and goes into Monday. I kind of take this as a Monday-ish kind of zone. But I get the sense that maybe, and we've all been there. You know how sometimes you clock out from work on Friday and then you don't know it at the time, but you go into Saturday and Sunday, and before you know it, it becomes like the most draining, regenerative weekend of your life. Like maybe you have obligations that make you drive all over the place, or you have to do some kind of moving, or you have to rearrange your storage unit, or what I kind of get is with wands, maybe either family, or sometimes with wands it's a lot of activity. Sometimes I see this as being that card where if you're a mom, you have to be the chauffeur and you're driving everyone all over God's green earth. It's almost like you're freaking tired, and it's like you're managing, right? It's like you have very little energy left, but you're using those last reserves of energy to be badass, right? But I do kind of get the sense like over the weekend you're not getting much downtime. It's not like, I get the sense like it's Saturday morning and you don't get to sleep in because somebody's awake, someone has to go to summer camp, something. But the other thing I kind of get is that if you're watching this at the time that the video posts, we're still in pandemic world, so it's not like normal world where you have like a million socially interactive activities to go do, but we are trying to live life as normal as possible. So this could be an indicator of maybe you have to go to the grocery store, you have to pick up somebody from their job, so and so is an essential worker, or you know maybe you have to call and make doctor's appointments for your hubby and your two kids. I just kind of get the sense that you're kind of like at your rope's end. It's not like you're getting much downtime. You're handling it like a champ, but you're still worn the hell out. And I'll just tell you, the other thing I kind of get is it does kind of look like the sun is setting. So I kind of get the sense, the other thing I get from this is like I'm kind of getting sun up to sundown. So you might really be doing the chauffeur thing, or you might be exerting all your energy to serve everybody in your family or other things, and it's burning you out, and you got to be careful with that, because if and believe me, I know it's tough to do sometimes when you have a full weekend or you have things to do. And then all of a sudden you blink and then it's like, oh, well, I got to go to work tomorrow. Way, yay. I didn't get any time to recoup at all. So I'm kind of getting that kind of energy at the beginning of the week. Middle of the week, this is freaking kind of interesting, guys, is that you got the Emperor and you got Karma, and then you got the Page of Cups. Now, the interesting thing about this Emperor card is that you do actually see children playing here. So, now, I can read this one of a few ways. One way that I kind of read this is that someone might be approaching you with kind of an emotional offer. This could be an apology. Um, but what I get is that maybe you're a little hesitant, like the way the emperor's watching the children is like maybe someone approaches you with some kind of surprise, like this is almost like an emotional offering. So I do get the sense that maybe someone contacts you out of the blue and it is a surprise, but you're in a real controlled emotion. Like you're watching this person as they're approaching you and going, okay, so this could be someone from your past. The other thing I get with karma is like maybe this person owes you some kind of an apology, but you'll be watching this apology like, okay, what does this mean? Right? Especially if it is a surprise, like if you're not expecting it, you're going to be I get you being kind of in a controlled energy where you really want to control the situation. You're not falling for anything. But this could be something that's owed to you because of someone might be approaching you with some kind of an apology or surprise kind of emotional message. The other way I read this is that this could quite be, if you're a man watching this, it could be you spending time with a child. It might be you visiting a child. But what I'm kind of getting is I'm getting a little bit of an obligational kind of feeling from this. Now, I do think that it might be a full moon, and this is a new moon eclipse here, but we're coming up on a full moon in Leo, like late next week. Um, but what I'm kind of getting from this is this might be some scheduled visitation time with a child. Either that, or you might feel some kind of obligation to a child. Like, one other thing I kind of get from this, and I know this sounds kind of funny, is that you know how growing up, it's funny. Growing up, you always think, oh, when I'm an adult, I'm gonna stay up all night and eat ice cream and do whatever I want, right? What I'm kind of getting is in the middle of the week, it's almost like something your parent used to do for you, you're gonna need to do for your child. And it's going to feel like, oh God, you know how when you hit that moment where you're actually in the same shoes as your mom or your dad, like, maybe your mom used to have to, come home early from work to drive you to soccer practice every Wednesday night, and you thought, oh, when I'm an adult, I'll be free, I won't have to do anything like that. And then all of a sudden you have to start driving your kid to soccer practice on Wednesday night. I'm kind of getting that feeling like there's something happening in the middle of the week, and I do get the sense that you enjoy it, like it brings you joy. But it is either that or it's some kind of tradition. It's something, it's almost like something that you owe to your child that was given to you when you were growing up. Either that or it's something that was denied you when you were growing up that you want to give to your child. I know that sounds really crazy, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this. Because karma is like your obligations, right? It's like the what you need to do to and karma can be good karma or bad karma, right? Maybe um, this could be you dropping off your children with your grandparent, like a grandfather, or them having a good moment. The other thing I kind of get is that sometimes it is learning something from a young one that really helps you see your childhood in a new light, right? I always see that joke, it's funny, and I have friends who talk about this all the time, and it's like, well, my parents are my children's grandparents, and if I went to my parents and said, "Hey, I want candy," they'd be like, "Heck no." But then your kids, their grandchildren come in and like, "Grandma, can I have candy?" And they're like, "Oh, of course, honey." And you're like, "Okay, who are you?" You know. You know, I'm getting kind of that energy. Like, why? Why does Pop let my little one get away with murder, even though I never got that? I never got that growing up. But it's almost like that. But I am almost getting almost like a reflective. Like you learn something from the dynamics from the different generations. But it be. I get the sense it's some kind of visit in the middle of the week. Maybe a grandparent is watching your little one in the middle of the week, and it becomes one of those really dynamic kind of meetings. But otherwise, this could be if you're a woman watching this could be a masculine, could be your divine masculine that's really approaching you with some kind of um, I am getting some kind of apology. It's like some kind of an atonement for something in the past, but it's going to be really surprising. It's going to be unexpected. And it's almost like you're watching it, like, okay, what does this mean? What does this mean? Now, by the end of the week, this is really amazing because this kind of plays into the same energy. You got the death card, and what I really stands out to me is you see a young person holding up flowers to death. And underneath it, you have the Ace of Wands, and it has a butterfly, which talks about transformation. Um, if you are a single person, this could be an opportunity to start anew with someone, and it could be a passionate new start. The other thing I get is if this is separate energy, by the end of the week you might just kind of feel like you're going through some kind of transformation, like I get the sense like you might be letting go of the old in order to go forward to the new. It does feel like foreign territory to you. It does. You know how I am hearing the phrase, every new beginning is some other beginning's end, is what I'm hearing. And because the root of this energy is a new beginning, but it's almost like you have to let go of certain past elements to begin on this new path, right? So you might be letting go of something, either that or you might be accepting a current situation for what it is. um, I'm getting a strong sense that it involves children because I see children here, a child here, and a child in death. So, what this might be, You could quite possibly be starting on a new path with just you and your child. Either that, or you might be working out the dynamics of like shared custody with someone. And it's almost like by the end of the week, you're really committing to that new path. Again, this is very Phoenix energy. You feel like, you're transforming into something new and you're actually starting down that path. And this is like the first week of you doing it, right? This is kind of like your new beginning. If you are single or if you have grown children, it's almost, I can read this energy as like you almost transforming into a new version of yourself. And you're really starting to feel that now. You're starting to feel that now. And the Page of Cups is kind of a fledgling emotional kind of energy, and the Ace of Wands is like a real creative and outgoing, energetic kind of beginning. So you're feeling strong about this, but I do get the feeling like you have to let something go in order to embrace the new, and you're ready to do that. You're ready to do that. Now, your oracle card is really powerful too, and this is the one that flew out on the floor. It says, unknown territory. You are exactly where you need to be. Oh, and goodness, guys. And look at this. Look at synchronicity alert. You see the columns here, and then you see the columns in the background. Oh my God. You know what it is that this energy probably feels really foreign to you. You're not, this is a lot of new territory, and you probably are wondering like, okay, where am I going? It probably feels wondrous, but it probably feels a little scary to you as well. So, but I do get the sense, and again, there's another winter scene. If you're watching this the time it posts, we are in North America, we're in winter time. But I do think that this is just telling you that, if you have custody of a child, or if you have someone approaching you, offering an apology, this is the start of a new path in a new direction. It is going to feel very Phoenix-like. Again, it's almost like you have to let some elements of the past go in order to embrace the new. And it's going to feel unknown to you, but you are exactly where you need to be. And this is going to take you down the path of something really bold and new. And I think by the end of the week, again, if you have some kind of Scorpio in your chart, because this is very Aries Scorpio energy, if you do have Aries in your chart, new beginnings are your thing. Like you're not afraid to blaze new trails. But the Scorpio side of it is kind of like, the other thing about winter is that winter is a cycle of life, right? It's being dormant before things grow in the spring. And it's about the dying of things in order for it to grow again in a new form, in a new shape. The other thing about winter is that all the leaves from the fall, they biodegrade, right? They fall to the ground, and then they absorb the nutrients, absorb into the ground to be used again in a new way. So I get the sense that, again, that feels like a very awkward kind of, it feels uncomfortable because the other thing is that you might not know where you're going. It might feel a little unknown to you, but the universe just wants to let you know that you are going through a regeneration, and things, you're on the right path. The other thing that I get is that maybe if you ask for a sign, maybe either ask for the sign of a butterfly, or this kind of bird, maybe like a more of a tan kind of bird, or just ask the universe for, you can assign a sign to it. Like say, okay, if I'm going if I start to feel uncomfortable, show me a squirrel, or if I start to feel uncomfortable, show me a cardinal. You can assign whatever symbol you want to it, and I promise you, your guides and the universe will deliver. It never fails. Anytime I say, hey, I asked my dad for shiny pennies, and he sends me shiny pennies all the time. So it's one of those things where if you ever start to feel in doubt, because you are going through a transformative time, and I think you're really going to feel that by the end of the week, but just know that you're on the right path. And if you need a sign, ask for one. It could also be an owl or a fish. Or an Egyptian, what do they call this? I forget the name of it, but it means, this also is a transformative symbol. It means life after death. But, alright, guys, I know that was a little bit more of a woo woo kind of thing, but that's a really strong week. You had several major arcanas, and I think by the end of the week, you're really going to be ready for new and new powerful change. So that's an excellent reading. I'm excited for you. But alright, guys, I thank you so much for joining me. Again, I was in a little bit, it's been a long day, so thank you for dealing with my rambling and my loopiness. But I hope that you have a very good week. Please feel free to join me on Tuesday. We are completing the Ten of Cups. We are doing the How to Tarot on the Ten of Cups. And oh my gosh, guys, that's like one of the happiest cards in the deck. It's the one that everyone looks forward to. So I hope that you can join me then. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.